All right, call the Village of Lake Park, February 10th, 2026 meeting to order. Councilman Jim Record will offer the invocation.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together today. We ask you for your blessing upon us to act and serve in the best interest of Lake Park. We ask you to bless our community and every person in it. We ask you to protect our country and to the men and women in uniform. We ask you to protect our first responders as they selfishly go about their duties. Lastly, Lord, again, we ask for your blessings for this gathering as we begin to discuss our municipal business. Lord, we humbly ask you to hear our prayer. Amen.
Amen. Please rise and pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Public comment, we have Miss Jessica Mosley Perez.
I'm so sorry.
Lives on Faith Church Road, who wanted to talk to us about a candlelight vigil, I think.
Yes, and do I stand where it's
Well, however you're more comfortable.
I'll sit. Where I'll sit. I did want to bring forth an idea. I did have a prepared layout of what I was asking and what we were requiring and things like this, things we just wanted to have. I'm sorry I don't have it to produce today, but I will absolutely, if you'll hear me out, I will get it to you. So if I may read, it's just an idea that I would like to present about having, I found out I'm nervous. Hold on. Bear with me, I'm so sorry. Thank you for your patience. Okay, let's do it. So, just for this, good evening, my name is Jessica Perez and I'm a resident here in the village. Like many people right now, I've been feeling a strong pull to do something meaningful, something local, something that reminds us that we belong to one another. I would love to host a simple candlelight gathering in Matheson Park, just neighbors coming together quietly and respectfully to show unity where it matters most and remind one another that we're not alone, that we're here for one another. This would be non-political, non-religious, and fully volunteer-led. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and honestly, I don't have many resources. I have felt helpless at times, but also know that the world doesn't need another loud opinion. It needs people willing to stand up in small, tangible ways. I want to be able to say that when I felt called, when I felt called to do something, I did. If there's any way this could be possible, I am willing to take on everything that's needed. I can create flyers, distribute them, coordinate logistics, gather candles, whatever it takes. I'm truly encouraged by the support that's already been expressed by fellow neighbors. I prepared, this is my handout. If I can email it or give it to you at some point.
You can.
I can? Oh, thank you so much. I will do so now. And that's me.
When were you wanting to have it? Do you have a date?
No, it was more for stages. I'm fairly new to the community, so I'm not quite certain how everything works and what the proper procedures and things like that are, how welcomed the idea would be. So before I put anything in stone or got my crew of stay-at-home moms who are just ready to, you know, be a part of something, and then go from there, if that's possible.
Do you have like, say, a mission statement of what you're trying to achieve or what you're?
If you need an exact one, I'm
Well, I'm just wondering, really.
Yeah, no, it's really just based out of the feeling that it's easy to get in our phones and it's easy to see a one-sided version of the world and kind of implode instead of connect and reach out to our neighbors and just to say, whatever you are, you're my neighbor first. And I want to feel that way about my community, and I want the people in my community to feel that way about me. So if I'm able to spark a light there, I'm happy to do so, if okay with you.
Any questions, other comments?
Listen, I was gonna ask what Joe just asked about what direction are you looking to go with this candlelight?
Do you have a concern per se? My intention is to say non-political, non-religious, just
That would probably be the most important.
Yeah, and it's in there, it's all in there, and that's why I want to approach it this way, that, you know, no matter where we live, no matter where we go, we're gonna find people who aren't like us, you know, and whether you agree with being their neighbor or not, you know, I feel like as opening with prayer, that we all agree that we're responsible for each other, and that if we don't take care of one another, that are we a community at all? And that's really my mission. I have no agenda other than that.
So are you, what, I'm assuming evening, day, the week?
Yeah, we would do
Well, how about how long?
We were looking, I had all your questions answered. So we were looking to do approximately 30 to 45 minutes, early evening. And that's really it. We were looking for it to be just a small event, just something that says that we acknowledge each other in this difficult time, this divided time.
Is it safe to say that you would be more or less hosting this, so people know what they're doing there?
Great question. I have that for you here. So I'm prepared to do everything. Like I said, I have minimal resources, but I even reached out to a friend today and said, hey, what do you think about this? And she was like, I can 3D print the little things for like 20, I can do 100 for $20. So we're resourceful. I think it gives an opportunity to our community members to showcase their talents, showcase what they can even bring and what they have to offer a community where we already set the baseline of we're neighbors, we're accepted, you know what I mean? So that's, yeah, and any supplies that we need, I would be happy to prepare, but it's really just the candles, flyers. I'm happy to distribute those. I'm not asking for any funding. I'm just more or less asking for guidance, permission if necessary.
So I guess still my question is, who is going to be, speaking or talking? Or
No one.
Just everybody's just gonna walk in and say, okay, we're here, now what do we do?
Well, I mean, it's just a proposition, you know, so I haven't laid out every single detail about
Understand.
what's gonna happen, but the intention is less is more, that we actually don't need all that much, that just your presence is saying something. You showing up and showing your neighbors that I got you and you got me.
I don't think I would have a problem. Oh, go ahead, Mark.
In your flyer and stuff, you'll be able to explain all that
100%,
stuff,
and
right?
I'm happy to have you pre-approved, let me know how I'm able to distribute, completely transparent. And my only objective here is to, I don't know, create a community and be a part of one.
I don't think anybody would really, at least I don't have any problem with any of that. I would say just a couple things here.
Sure.
First off, you'd wanna, get with probably Sarah to make sure that there's no town event already set when you're
100%.
doing it. And then the HOA to make sure they don't have any events set up. And the third thing, I'm not saying you do this or anything, but just to throw it out there, we had somebody a few years back that wanted to have an event to get a community gathering. And we had a Matheson Park, and next thing you know, they wanted to have vendors there, and they were selling spots and a lot of other things.
Let me tell you
So-
something, I got $3 in this purse, babe. I'm not looking to do anything.
Well, not necessarily,
No, but
it turned from one thing to another.
what I appreciate about questions is, you know, I don't even know, that's why I come to you, right? Is you guys have the experience, you have the time in this community. I'm originally from Miami. I could not do this in Miami. I wouldn't be able to approach, I couldn't get neighbors on, you know what I mean? We all live here for a reason. And so I have no intention of saying, hey, we want these people here, or coming and adding on. My only goal is to do essentially two things, get the word out, and if we add, music or something, if these are the things that you more or less want to know more of an outline of, happy to provide as we build up.
I would think probably the next thing to do would be figure out which week or when you want to do it and then come back to us for approval for it.
Yeah, just to set the dates and then email Sarah,
I would email Sarah just to make sure that
Send it to me.
Okay.
or you talk with,
Yeah.
just to make sure availability.
No, 100%.
And then,
Might wanna figure a rain date too.
A rain date, okay, see, valuable. Thank you. My read was like, notes. Wonderful. Any other questions or insight I can provide?
Anything?
I'm good with it.
All right, thank you for letting me bumble through that. The next one will be better.
You're
But
fine.
thank you, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, if you'll send your document to Sharice, she'll get it
Yeah,
out to all of us,
100%.
and then we'll look to have you back.
Thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
I imagine you're figuring later in
Oh,
the spring
you know,
when it's warmer.
We're gonna get there. I apologize.
All right. Approval of the minutes when the packets were sent out last week. Are there any requested additions or deletions to the minutes? If not, is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
Motion to approve?
Jim's made a
I'll
motion.
second.
Bruce seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. There was nothing on the consent agenda. The printed agenda is before you. Are there any requested deletions or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda as set?
Make the motion.
Bruce made a motion, Mark seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Public Safety Sheriff Department. First of all, we'd like to welcome Lieutenant May. Lieutenant May is over several things, but in particular, the small town contracts are he is Ryan's boss. So Lieutenant May's out here quite regularly riding the village and running radar, looking at stop signs and things like that. So we really appreciate your presence, but
Thank you all for having me tonight. Thanks for the kind introduction. I drive the ghost car. So if you see that one in here, that's probably me. So, but, from everything I hear and see, that we get a lot of support in here, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate that. And, I'm just here to see how this meeting operates. I've not been to one, so I appreciate you having me.
we appreciate it. Thank you. Ryan?
For January, we got 43 calls for service, 692 self-initiated, which includes 25 traffic stops. We've got the one burglary to the home, but I didn't mention that last month. That's the one on Hoover.
Yeah.
And I will say that the one that happened in December on Sages has been cleared by arrest, and that wasn't a random person. That was somebody that they knew. So that's taken care of. And then we had one alarm. That's all I've seen here.
Any questions on the report from Ryan? One of the things, Lieutenant May, I'd like to thank you for is your willingness to be transparent and come forth when we've had this break-in that happened, and, you know, to give us some guidance to pass to the community of reassurance that things are gonna happen and we understand that, but we're in about as good shape as we can be from a crime perspective. Would you agree?
Absolutely. We've seen an increase countywide in calls for service this year, but the lion's share of that has been what we call self-initiated activity, which is these preventive patrols or traffic stops, business checks, things like that. So you live in one of the safest areas and one of the safest counties in the state. And then, like I said, I gotta get all the credit back to these folks that do the work each day, and mainly to the support that we receive from you all. And I believe several folks on the council have my direct cell phone number. I'm happy to give it to anyone. Whether it be a resident, whether it be a board member, my phone rings all the time, and I'm working all the time. So I invite you to call me, email me if you've got questions, and if there's ever anything the sheriff's office needs to speak on, officially, I'm happy to help coordinate that. So.
Any questions for Lieutenant May?
Ryan, I got one question, if you know the answer. And I didn't even know about this, but three of my neighbors came to me this morning when they saw me outside and said there were 6 sheriff's cars down the end of Kenmore in the circle this morning.
Yeah, it was a suicide threat call regarding the student. It's been dealt with.
Because they came to me, when they see me outside, they said, what's going on? What's going on with what?
All right. Lieutenant May, thank you again, sir.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Ryan, thank you, sir. Y'all be careful.
You said,
Thanks.
I did not get the Henry Bridge statistics, so we'll fill that in when I do get them. January financial report.
Okay, you have the January financial report. I don't think there's anything spectacular. We were at 86% of ad valorem tax and 85% of stormwater fees. We're right on budget for the sales and use tax and the other state shared revenues. We've received 58% of our budget revenues year to date. Expenditures, we did pay the legal services bill, so we are a little bit high in that. We're at 67%. We're in the black, 64,110 revenues over expenditures year to date. Does anyone have any questions about anything? I do also have, the auditor has not filed the audit yet. She had more health issues. So we have a request for an extension for, through the end of February that council would need to approve.
Is there a motion to approve to extend the contract for the?
I'll make the motion.
Stover made a motion, Bruce seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Anything else, Sheriff?
I guess the only other thing is, I know you all probably realize January was a busy month for me doing payroll, tax returns and 1099s and W-2s, everything. And then I also do a TR2 report to the state, which is revenues report. I also do a cash report to the state. So it's been a busy month for me. But thankfully, all those are done, and then I will have they call them SLRFR, it's a, what's the name for that? My ARP money, I call it, yeah. So, we will follow a final, I think that's due by the end of April, so that'll be the next focus.
All right. Thank you for all your work this month, Sheriff. All right.
You're welcome.
Any questions for Sheriff? Stormwater, I think this is the first time in my 6 years I've ever seen it. I mean, I waited up until halftime for Super Bowl to put something in there and never got anything, so. Seriously, anything you need to talk about working on?
No, I have asked Eagle to help me identify what they consider the next 5 top projects as we get ready to go into budget.
Yeah. Back to finance, talking about budget, we will be probably next month setting us a budget workshop for late April or May. I don't know, early May, I can't remember, but anything you know of that you're in charge of or that you want changed or looked into, please be working on that. And get it all to Cheryl in time. We'll talk about that more as it comes close. That is approaching. Park and Recreation, just a quick overview on the Christmas decorations. Several residents have, a couple have asked me, I don't know how many have called the office. I know a few have asked Mark about the Christmas decorations still being up. It's just been extremely cold. And, you know, Henry does it by himself with his daughter. We pay him well, but we certainly can't get that work done for anywhere near the rate that he charges us. So they are up longer than I think they have been in the past. But he's working on it. He needed more tubs. I got those for him last week. So as the weather gets better, I think he'll get it down pretty good.
2 straight weekends of bad weather, I mean, that's pretty understandable.
That is more of a curiosity factor from residents of why they're still.
Yeah, that's basically what it
Not
was to me.
everybody.
Did y'all forget to take it down? No, we're good.
Henry Bridge.
Yeah, we'll leave them up like Henry Bridge. Christmas is coming.
Not that far away.
All right. The Lake Charles Pier roof replacement is complete. Looks good. Guy did a good job and we're taking care of him and hopefully that's good for another 20 years. So.
And I'm assuming while Henry's out, I've had a couple of calls that
Put
the
it back.
lights will be back up.
Yeah.
I told him once we got some decent weather.
February 23rd is our next meeting. Welcome anybody like to come. We'll try to get the pool rates and they're nailed down and bring back to council for approval. And we're working on the pool stuff. She's already working on it. We got a list today from CPM of stuff we gotta have to get our county permit and whatnot. So all that's in the works. Planning board, next meeting is 17th. Is that right, Drew?
Yes.
Anything you've got for that? We need to know about.
No, it's going to be a fairly quick meeting, but we've not met since November, so.
Waste collection, any updates on that, Drew?
They supposedly, I've not heard otherwise, so I'm assuming they did. They missed Butterfly Alley this week, and so they went back and they also missed the house.
Several people emailed me that they got it was picked
Okay,
up, so.
so I was assuming since I didn't hear back. As you know, the weather has really been, Waste Pro's been in a little bit of a pickle because when the transfer station, the landfill closes in Wingate, they can't, even if they could run the routes, they don't have anywhere to dump. So they were closed 2 Mondays in a row and they were closed to the public even last Tuesday but they opened for commercial carriers last Tuesday, so they were able to start running. And they did not across the board for any of their municipal contracts in the county. Well, actually, several counties, surrounding counties, due to the weather, they didn't pick up any yard debris or bulk so that they could get at least everyone's trash and recycle picked up last week. So they are on schedule. We should be back to our typical Thursdays.
I found it kind of refreshing. I looked at, I think Mint Hill uses Waste Pro and Harrisburg, and everybody, the towns have posted the changes. And there were a lot of just rude comments, just tearing the towns up like it's their fault, they can have any control. But I don't think we had anybody that complained in our town. I think that's great, understanding. Those are bigger towns, you got more people, obviously, more opportunity for complaints, but
Yeah.
They generally do a good job for us, so. Streets and sidewalks, roofs, anything,
Nothing wild and crazy. The sign on Kenmore and Balsam fell off the pole and is damaged, so I'm gonna get a new one done. And I'm still waiting for an answer on the 2 signs by the lakes. And the only other thing I got a kick out of when we had the snow, I had a few residents wanting to know when I was going to be by to take care of their stoop and driveway. And I told them,
When did you do it?
I did. And I did advise them that they should contact their HOA community board and then get any answers they might get, because they do not do that.
Yeah, and for clarification, I think it was townhomes who were asking, I know John's back there like, send them to the HOA. Yeah, no, it was some townhome folks that thought.
I didn't stick anybody after the office here or the HOA, I said, contact your.
Some of them came after the office, and Sheree took some calls.
I didn't send them your way. I was like, you gotta be kidding me when I saw it.
Told them Mother Nature would do a great job
That's
for
all.
them. Just wait 24 hours.
Gone before you know
Like an electrical judge?
All right, well, we, as I told you last month, we had a meeting with Brad with Union Power, and he got back to us, but not really answered most of the questions that we really asked. And the one question he did answer wasn't exactly what we asked him to do, so we're still working on that. We've got several issues with a lot of lights, and there's a lot of them that have been out lately too. The cold weather really causes problems with that, so, but they've been pretty good at replacing, repairing them, so. Ordinance Review Committee did not meet this, like we were scheduled to. First was a scheduling conflict, it's my fault, and the next time was pretty much weather, and then other problems that came up with the rescheduled date. So we are going to meet next Monday, 7 o'clock here. John Corzine's not gonna be able to make it, he's doing the early voting at Stallings Fire Department, so it's just gonna be, more than likely myself, Bruce, Jim, and, Sarah. That'll be at the next meeting, but we're just gonna basically make a motion of what we're gonna get started on the animal control ordinance.
And that'll be at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock here, yep, next Monday.
Street Joe asked me, we were talking before the meeting about the Bobby Lane truck, since it kind of includes an ordinance, is it handled, do you have any idea? I've not been by that.
As of this morning at 10:30, it was not handled. The village has started the towing process.
Were we ever able to get in touch with the resident whose friend owns the car or owns the truck?
Yes,
And
Talk to the resident, right, but not the owner.
he was not responsive when he was told that the process was going to be started, or?
we sent him a copy of the process along with the certified letter that went to the owner.
The situation, Ken, I don't know if you're aware, is a truck that's in the cul-de-sac, and which is against the ordinance. It's not fully in the cul-de-sac, but the nose of it is, and there are residents complaining, and it's been there for several weeks. The owner of the truck, Strand, lives over that way, and the owner of the truck's out of town with the keys. Now allegedly, he was gonna mail the keys back for
It's been over
5 now, so I mean, I think we're.
And just try to dodge out as cautiously.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll get the certified, return receipt requested, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, hopefully they get that back, I don't know. Just gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. And we've had to do it maybe twice, 2 times, we had to do it twice.
We've done it, usually typically, once we send that we're gonna impound the vehicle tends to.
Yeah, no, I
No.
understand, how long ago was that here?
The last one I did was last year.
No, this specific situation you're discussing right now?
Um,
When the notice go out?
the notice went
Yeah.
out last week,
Just keep me posted on it.
right before I connected.
Yeah.
The pool credit card, the credit card service has been a challenge. We've looked through several different options. Sarah's been investigating some. I don't know if she's come up with anything new on that yet, but we're looking towards Square with the terminal from Square. They do have something that'll work with us and should seamlessly drop in and should be relatively simple. I should have an update on that next month. And I don't foresee any problems with that.
They have a service where we would not pay, right now, we were paying a monthly fee plus processing. And this service, we would not have to pay the monthly fee. We will have to purchase the terminal and it will be ours. But they also will provide a link for our website and there would be no charge for that, which right now we are currently paying $33.50 for. And one of the things that we have found, other than during pool season, since we're no longer collecting taxes, we are not using, we don't have the demand. Our typical demand is about $500 a month. Well, when you're paying out $33.50 for a service, you know, it's not optimal. So we're working to resolve that.
You said we have to purchase something?
We will have
The
to
terminals.
purchase the terminal.
What kind of range is that?
$300.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's not,
It's not real bad.
and it does actually have its own printer. One of my concerns was when I was reading initially, it showed that you had to purchase a printer for a receipt. And I talked to David Stafford, who was our pool manager last year, and when I talked to him last time, he was planning on being our pool manager again this year. Typically, people don't want a receipt because then they have a piece of paper they have to keep up with at the pool. But this particular printer, you can still print a receipt if requested. So that was something originally, I don't think they gave very good direction because it looked like you had to buy a terminal and a printer, but you only have to purchase the terminal.
So, well, that's it for that. The next thing is, it's not on here, but we had some discussions today with the hosting company for the website. So we're still working at that. I'm going to have options together here, hopefully next month for us to talk about. So I know which way we're going to go towards on the budget when it comes to budget time. But there's several different changes in the website that we've talked about before being ADA compliant. So we're gonna have to do that. That's a no-brainer, but our big thing that we're going to be wondering is whether we want to change our mass notification system. Right now, we ran into some limitations with it. It's pretty obsolete as far as they go. But Sheree and I have been discussing it, the fact that, well, even if it's obsolete, it still pretty much does what we need. So we don't know if it's going to be worth spending extra money to do it or not. So we're looking into that. And I'm also going to be just reaching out to a few other web hosting companies just to see, just looking at it, it seems like we pay an awful lot of money for not very much. But we'll just have to see how that works.
All right. That's your project updates, Jim, personnel and policy committee.
Yeah, so we had our first personal policy committee meeting on January 21st. We went through what our duties were and looking at everything. So, but we did split up some of our policies that we have currently to review those between the three of us. And but I do have, you know, one of the things that we were looking at when it comes to this and is duties of the town clerk and the assistant clerk. I have the stuff that was written up from before. I don't know if there's any changes we need for additional duties of how that was going to look. Then there was, I know Sheree and I did have a talk, and you know, Sheree, it was listed about some of the state policies that we have there. We have an exemption from. Just, I think we should have a list. The council agrees with this. I have a list of everything that we're exempt from. I don't, if that's what you guys are looking for, the community also will provide. And then the last thing is, separating those looking at the duties and the transition plan is a date. We need to know what a date would be. Not now, but a retirement date. So we've been put out 2 years, 2 years, it's been saying 2 years, a date that we can basically put the.
You want it
transition plan
tonight?
to. I'm sorry?
You want it tonight?
No, not tonight,
No.
not tonight.
No, you want tonight?
She said, no, he said no, not, he didn't date tonight.
I think she's ready to retire tonight.
That's what I was.
Oh, I'm
You want
always
it
on tonight, no. I said not tonight, no.
Maybe it's halfway out the door.
I think we should finish the meeting maybe.
We're paying him enough, he can take it. You just looking so you can back into.
Just back into
I
something,
understand.
that's all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I understand.
Jen, I think, and I don't know how many years ago this was, but I'm fairly sure there was a resolution that appointed Cherie as the town administrator versus the town clerk. I'm not sure if that might impact your duties, assignments to, I think serving as the clerk might have been fell under her umbrella as town administrator. I'm fairly confident about it, so you might want to dig it up.
Okay.
Look for it somehow.
I would imagine administrator would be more of a managerial job that would
It
change
was
the
done-
classification
well,
now.
It was done because you have, and I won't be able to speak particularly intelligently about it tonight. You have different forms of management. You have what's it called, council manager form,
Right.
and town administrator was a way to identify her that fit the structure that the council uses. I don't remember all the details of it. But I think it probably came with the pay raise at the time, probably. But I think it's out there. I don't think it was just a discussion and motion and vote, I don't think.
As far as exemptions, is there, or policies that I guess you're talking about because of our population size?
Probably because of population, whatever, I don't know what those exemptions.
There's all
We were
kinds
just
of
talking about that, there's, you said we have word exemptions to policies, I don't know.
Well, for example, like we don't have to, even though we're phase 2 stormwater, we don't have to provide a report to the state annually. So that's an exemption. I'm assuming that's the kind of thing that you're looking for.
Just whatever, for whatever, I don't know if the state, I'll ask this question to Ken. I don't know if the state requires us to have certain, I should just say the word, policies in place. To be considered a municipality.
There are some areas that are, and I don't know globally what all they would be. There are some areas in the statutes that require implementation of certain, having a policy on a certain area. I don't know exactly what they are off the top of my head. I don't think there's any requirement that you maintain a list of things that you don't have to comply with. And I've got some concern about implementing a policy that reflects we're not required to comply with the following legalities in municipal law, because if you do that, then it seems to imply that your failure to include something you might not have to do, what you would have to do.
I just wanted to put in a list of stuff that we don't have to comply with, that's it.
Right.
A piece of paper that has a list of things.
I think
that-
that's more easily found out from the League of Municipalities than it is from Kent Swain and for our less expensive.
Okay.
I mean, I can start looking it up, that will take me a little bit of time to try to determine that. And I think there's some degrees of complexities for me looking at it that are different because I think you had a discussion going on between the mayor, myself, and Cherie recently about exempting the village from certain RFP publication requirements that appear to be being enacted in different areas across the state. So that's one thing you can exempt yourself. Are you referring to things that are unilaterally exempt, or are you referring to things you can exempt yourself from?
I don't have an answer to that question.
Yeah, because
'Cause
there are.
I don't know.
Right, well, I mean, because I'm not sure of the answers to all those things are either, they come up as they kind of come up, but I'm not, full-time, with it, so. I mean, like, for instance, you use a, exemption for architectural, design, form services. Because, those things are out there, I just don't know what they all are.
Yeah, so I was thinking of just being able to put something on paper that said, this is exempt and here's the reasons why. So we can answer these questions. We have stuff. That's my thought.
Let me look up, let me do some looking. Let me
Okay.
check with the league and.
For sure, there is some policies that the state says you gotta have. That's kind of where this thing was born, because we didn't think we had an ethics policy.
Right,
And one of those general statutes said that
Yeah.
the town shall have.
Right, and you have to maintain an index, I think an indexed version of your policies, I believe.
right.
There are things like that, yes.
Yeah, the school government and the League of Municipalities were a big resource on that.
Yeah. So let me do some digging. I'll see.
Didn't we hire somebody when we did the personnel policy?
We did.
An outside expert, because that's a specialized field that.
We hired a person that actually developed that for us. He was retired from, it was either the league or the school. I think it was from the league. I don't think he was from the school of government. That's been a number of years ago. Let me do some thinking on that.
Anything else, Jim?
No, that's everything. And our next meeting is February 18th at 6:30.
Street, anything on the landings?
Yes, sir.
Any updates on Connecticut or you?
Those are the ones you're talking to in correctional about?
Yes.
No.
The kids call it ghosting.
Oh, it's over there.
They've ghosted us.
I saw Tim at the grocery store this past week. I went the other way. Read details. All right. Community information report, Wayne?
There ain't nothing going on in this town, we're trying not to freeze to death.
Right? Good deal. Newsletter information for Mark?
Got anything?
I got something for you. I've been seeing more residents, the garbage cans that are there for the dog waste and by the children's parks and everything. People are bringing their daily garbage in 30-gallon bags and stuffing them in there. So maybe we can put a note in the newsletter like, hey, you can't be doing that.
I can see them putting recyclables in there because there's just full.
This wasn't recycled.
I hear ya.
One gal in particular who shall remain nameless, but I do know where she lives because she told me. I said, you really need to get those. She stuffed 2 30-gallon bags in that waste can.
Container, in the waste container?
In the pet waste container.
People are
Does she
amazing.
not have a trash cube?
She said she did. She said, but they're full. Okay.
All right.
So,
Well, there you go. You got some good new information.
she was apologizing all over the place.
Push them to it.
If you got anything, send it to me.
We'll get it over. You're delivering this month and then we're going digital, is that right?
We're going digital March 1st.
Yeah.
I'm done delivering.
Done delivering.
Oh, okay, all right.
I gotta use my final, yeah.
You said you had a few people that have reached out to sign up.
We're gonna send, next week an e-blast out. I don't know that it will necessarily, the people that are requesting it aren't computer
Might not get it right.
literate, but the more people we can also remind, this is when they're talking to their neighbors and all, this is the reason why you're not getting one. But I think what's gonna end up happening is come the first week in March, we're gonna get calls again from people that say, where's my newsletter?
Then you can say that.
Well, I know you know the people, or a majority of the people
I
that
do.
want it, and have they been the one to contact you already?
Actually, I've been kind of surprised, some people that have reached out that want a copy that,
Yeah, I've had a couple
That I
of people
did
reach out to me and I basically just sent them the link to the
Yeah.
notification.
but I've had, I think our list right now has about 40 people on it. So, not terrible, but some of them, I know are very computer literate, but they like their newsletter that they put on their refrigerator. And they didn't want to have to print it themselves. So, okay.
All right. Anything else, get it to Mark, so we can get the letter put together. Mark, we appreciate you doing that. Have some comments, Mark?
Thanks for everybody, all they do for the village, and, thank you for presenting your idea that you talked about. And, that's about it.
Sure.
I've got nothing.
Bruce?
Thank you, Joe, nothing, everything is peaceful. I'm looking forward to seeing what that's gonna come up.
Jim?
I just thank you for coming here tonight, all four of you. Appreciate it. We had a full forum. Proud.
I'm sorry we're finishing so early.
Yeah.
Oh, you want a debate? Well,
No challenges, Bruce.
It's sensitive.
Dwayne?
We'll take a 10-minute break, and if we're not here when you come back, start with us.
No.
Wayne?
We need to do something about that Punxsutawney Road that is just extended to 6 more weeks.
Jerk.
Other than that, I got nothing.
We'll try to muskrat.
Understand he's in the witness protection plan.
Ken, anything? Sure. Sure.
Happy Valentine's.
There you go.
There you go.
It's that time.
Always something.
Well, gifts on my bar when I came in, I said, what is this? It's Valentine's. I was like, wait a minute. For my daughter's stuff for her boyfriend. Sure, I had messed up. Appreciate council, everything you do, staff, you as well. Folks out there, we appreciate you coming on. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Mark made a motion, Bruce second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Knock it down.